Raj. If you were the commissioner and you had the power next season to take the All-Star game and remove the Eastern-Western Conference format and turn it just into straight All-Stars, would you do it? With the caveat that they're going to keep the system the same way they did this year, where the two highest vote getters get to choose their team in a draft-style round selection.
So it'll be the highest vote getters in either conference or just the highest vote getters total?
Highest vote getters total. We just take East and West completely out of it. We're one country. United States of America. Not the Eastern States of America and the Western States of America.
Plus Toronto. Don't forget about the Raptors. Okay, so the only way I would abolish this is if we also abolish the 1 through 8 East and West playoff seeding as well. That's the only way I would abolish this. And
these are not related. These are not interconnected. You could do one without the other and have no problem.
No way. I think they're completely connected. And the seeding also, like, because a lot of All-Star votes and a lot of people that make the All-Star team make it based on their team's performance and their standings in the rankings. So if we're doing East and West for playoffs, I think that we should keep East and West for All-Stars, even though there are deserving people that don't make the All-Star team because of it. Jordan, what do you think?
That's such a load. That's an absolute load. Dwayne Wade almost became a top All-Star starter. Luka Doncic, the same thing. Both those teams out of the playoffs right now. Not even sniffing a playoff position. And you're trying to tell me that only the best teams get to send All-Stars. No. It's for the fans. Send the fans who they want. Yes, it's the same thing that happened 5-10 years ago with the abolishing of the center position. There's no longer an all-star center. It was 3 forwards. And that way we didn't have to get, some not undeserving, but like underqualified guy in the all-star game because there was a center spot that needed to be filled.
Mm-hmm. Which, you know what, that did apply a couple of years ago, but I would argue that the center spot is back in the NBA once again. Would you tell me?
Hell no.
What do you mean? What do you mean, hell no?
Hell no.
What?
Hell no. We just watched an All-Star game where Kevin Durant played center against Joel Embiid and made him look dumb. Granted, it was an All-Star game, so I don't know how hard everybody was playing, but the center position in my mind is dead. It's dead. There's not this. It's the age of the stretch 4, stretch 5, stretch 3, it's all just stretches everywhere. That's all we got these days.
I know there's stretches, Jordan, but there's still 5s. You look at big talented guys, like look at this year. You had Nikola Jokic, Nikola Vucevic, you had Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis. These are 5 legitimate centers in the NBA. Just because they're unicorns doesn't mean they're not centers.
Well, did they win Finals MVP? Did they lead the team in points?
Yes, they did lead teams in points. Yeah, Anthony Davis also led the All-Star team in points last season as well.
Oh, Anthony Davis only played 5 minutes.
This time.
Played less than 20. Same with Jokic and Vucevic. It's a moot point, man. I don't think the center is the truly dominant position that we're used to in the early 2000s, the days of Shaq, Chris Webber, Vlade Divac, all these, massive guys. Sabonis, Arvydas Sabonis. These guys like very talented big men. I don't think we see that anymore from an all-star level. Comparing them to someone like Kevin Durant, LeBron James is not fair. It's not. It's night and day. If you had to pick Kevin Durant over Anthony Davis, I think most people would still pick Kevin Durant.
Well, I think this is a special situation where Kevin Durant is like a once-in-a-lifetime talent. It's kind of which Anthony Davis is as well. But, if you had to pick, say, I think a better comparison would if you had to pick between Paul George and Anthony Davis, who would you pick?
Oh, I mean, the way Paul George is playing this year, I'm leaning towards PG-13. That boy is a flamethrower from deep.
So you think it's more of a guards game then? Entirely.
Oh yeah, I do.
So should we just abolish the positions as well for All-Star Game? You know, forget having to have 2 guards and 3 forwards. Just throw in every single player as a guard into the All-Star Game and just watch them all play. What about that? Would you be for or against that?
That's on the captain. That's on the All-Star captain and their decision to build their team. And if they want to do that and build out, 10 guards and try and play against the other team, then go for it. I mean, we saw it this year. Kemba Walker, Stephen Curry, and Giannis. And Giannis was bringing the ball up. So Kemba all of a sudden became an off guard, and Curry was basically playing the 3 on offense. And it worked for the first half quite effectively, too. Spacing was really good for them. So, you know what? Yeah. Why not? Leave that up to them. Make it work. They can make it work.
All right, man. Well, I think we can get into this All-Star discussion for quite some time here, but we got other things to talk about. You ready to give and go?
That's right. We got other things to talk about, like All-Star Weekend. Let's give and go. Basketball, the Sixers are give and go.
NBA, give and go.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Give and Go podcast. This is one half of the Dream Team. As per usual, we got Raj Sharma in my new digs here in Kelowna. And I'm with my boy, the one and only Jordan Taylor. What's good, Jordan?
Hey, man. I'm doing all right. It's a little quiet after a busy All-Star weekend, but it's good to be on the pod to talk about another best of the best.
Yeah, that's right, man. We had a very, very busy All-Star weekend this year. We're not even going to talk about Friday night's events because, I think that's kind of irrelevant. The celebrities that they had in the Celebrity Challenge, I don't even know if you can really consider most of them celebrities.
No. You don't think BJ Armstrong is a celebrity?
Okay, you know what? Actually, before we get into this, there is one thing that did come out of that All-Star Celebrity Game that I do want to talk about because that was the Friday night. We had Ray Allen playing in the All-Star Friday Celebrity Game. And
that's right.
Yeah, and he was draining 4-pointers.
What?
I don't know if you noticed, Jordan, but they added a 4-point line, which is about 3 or 4 feet behind the NBA 3-point line. And Ray Allen was stroking from there. Do you think this is something that the NBA will bring to the National Basketball League? And is it a good idea, Jordan? 4-point line.
I mean, of course they did, right? Because, playing basketball as an average Joe in a celebrity game is too easy for all these people, so they need to obviously add a 4-point line for complexity. I'm gonna cite Greg Popovich here and just kind of go with the no, I think it's dumb. I like 3-point shooting, but I don't think adding a 4-point line is really going to do a lot to the as a whole. Sports really only have three different ways to score most times. Adding this extra 4-point play is going to make this weird and complex game of basketball, which I don't think it really needs to be. It's good simplified. I mean, football, you can score 5 points, 2-point conversion, 1-point safety, 3-point kick?
6-point touchdown. That's a 6. But I hear what you're saying. And I'm going to have to tend to agree. I hate to agree with you, obviously. But I think this is, if they add a 4-point line, the way the youth in today's society, I'm going to go old man Raj mode here, but kids are not playing the game the right way. And, if we had a 4-point line, man, you're just going to have more people and more kids hucking up wild shots that they are not capable of hitting because not everybody's a genetic freak like Steph Curry, and it's just going to make the quality of basketball worse. So I think
the quality of rec center basketball would go down.
Oh, big time.
I don't think the quality of NBA basketball or college basketball would.
Yeah.
I think it would relatively stay the same. yeah, is every rec center going to pay to 4-point line? No. So it would be an elite level thing at that point. Yeah, that being said, yeah, it'd be all for the kids tucking up garbage. And we're already seeing that with the All-Star game this weekend, which we'll get into. A record was broken with 96 attempted 3-point shots. I'm pretty sure that was the final number.
Yeah, it was
100 3-pointers, man.
Yeah, well, nobody's trying to get hurt, but hey, you know what? Something else that happened over the All-Star Friday celebrity game. Bleacher Report went and tweeted out a video of Ray Allen hitting threes, and it said, "Somebody give this man a contract. Somebody sign this man to a 10-day." And the Rockets general manager Daryl Morey retweeted it and said, "We're in if he's in." What are the chances of us seeing Jesus Shuttlesworth suiting up for the Houston Rockets this season, Jordan?
Oh, no. Hell no. He's done. He's done. He ain't doing
what? Come on.
Anymore.
Come on, he can stroke threes.
No. Because he can stroke a three doesn't mean he can do it consistently throughout the whole night.
Oh,
and I mean, if you remember the 3-point shooting contest, which we'll get into, your boy, when the pressure came on, he wasn't playing against average Joes. He was just trying to shoot 5 3-pointers in a row. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no. I think Ray Allen's done for good. He's got his chips. He's got the accolades. He's good to go. I don't think there's any chance that Ray Allen comes back this season.
All right. Well, that's fair. I'd love to see it, though. But moving on to All-Star Saturday, we had the first event of the night as the Taco Bell Skills Challenge. And let's talk about this a little bit, Jordan. Do we just reveal who won right at the start? Is that what we're gonna do? Do we hit a spoiler alert? Is that a thing?
Oh, there ain't no spoiler. If you listen to our podcast, you've already watched the weekend. If you're trying to watch us for highlights, man, go find SportsCenter. We ain't gonna give you that garbage.
All right, it's true. So the Boston Celtics' own Jason Tatum came away with the victory over Trae Young in the finals of the Skills Challenge. And he did something interesting, Jordan. He took his final shot. So basically they go through the cones, then they go do a layup, then they got to do a pass, then they take it the other way, do another layup, and then they come back and they got to shoot a 3-pointer. And he launched his 3-pointer from half court and made it rain to take home the crown. What do you think of that strategy, Jordan?
I got so much to say about the Skills Challenge this year. I mean, do you think it's fair that you can just huck up a half-court shot after blowing 3 chest passes into a circle and win it? Like, it just seems like such a cop-out. But, like, shout out to Jason Tatum. As far as, winning the overall championship with a half-court buzzer beater, impressive nonetheless. But I feel like the reason it's called the Skills Challenge is to showcase your skills. And all it showcased was he could be slow through the crossovers, he can miss the chest pass, and as long as he pucks up a half-court prayer and hits it, he wins the Skills Challenge. Not very skillful, in my opinion. Raj, what you think?
Yeah, there was a lot of questionable things happening in that skills competition. I want to throw back to Trae Young, too, who the part where you're supposed to dribble down the court, the length of the court, and go do a layup, he hucked the ball to, past half court and then just ran into it and did his layup. Complete cheating and complete disregard for the rules. I think people should be disqualified if they do that. I mean, come on, man. You could just need to dribble a friggin' ball. That's what you do for a living. I don't know. I wasn't too impressed with some of the competitors there. And like you said, the half court, you know what? I don't mind the half court shot. That one I'm okay with. It's the dribbling screw up and last year with Joel Embiid with the bounce pass where he, instead of actually attempting the pass, just screwed up on purpose 3 times in a row so that he could just move on to the next item, the next obstacle.
Right, exactly.
I think these guys should do it by the book.
That's another thing true with the Trae Young throw. Exactly. Stuff like that was happening all throughout the contest. it became a skill of who could cheat, and the refs wouldn't call anything.
Yeah.
Mike Conley, Jokic, all these guys, so cool going through the cones, so smooth, no intent for speed. They're just there to have a good time. If we're gonna do that, we should just take this whole thing out. Like, honestly, like, it used to be fun when I watched guys like Patrick Beverley in there, because he'd compete for it, he'd go for it. Spencer Dinwiddie, he was freaking fast. He would also compete even last year, right? So, I mean, to see this was kind of disappointing, which is kind of the sum of All-Star Weekend as we get into it in more detail. I will say I did kind of find it interesting that they brought Ludacris and Karl Anthony Towns out and then randomly picked numbers for the matchup. I thought that was, a refreshing way to do it rather than bigs versus smalls, because somehow the bigs were just, dominating with Draymond Green up until Spencer took the title back for the guards. Do you want to see bigs versus guards again? Do you want to see a random or a pre-slotted, like, rankings? What do you want out of a round robin tournament like this, Raj?
Well, it was weird that they said it was random, but then in the end it ended up being bigs versus bigs and guards versus guards in the first round anyways. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, how random is this random selection, So
you thought the random selection was collusion?
Oh, 100% collusion. Illuminati confirmed, Jordan.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I like the event, but I want to see them disqualify guys or give them penalties for not following the rules. Like, hit them up with like a 5-second penalty, Yeah.
What I want to see is them go back to what they did originally, which was they start on opposite ends of the court and they have to race. And there used to be, I think, two chest passes that you had to do instead of one.
Yeah.
And because of that made it a lot harder for people to actually just buck up 3 chest passes at each, side of the court. And so it'd be faster to actually get it on the first time.
Totally.
So maybe a little bit more of that, like a little bit more chest passing. Make it not like one of these things where you can just like avoid it and it's fine.
Yeah.
The round robin selection, collusion or not, whatever. Like, you gotta play everybody anyway, so I don't think I'm okay with it just random or not random. But yeah, you know what? Can't throw the ball. Half court shot, fine. I'll let you do a half court shot, but don't reward guys for throwing it aimlessly when it's a skills challenge. That's all I gotta say.
Totally. All right, that's fair. I think we've covered that one pretty well. Let's go to the second event of the night, Jordan, and we had the 3-point shootout, which honestly I felt was the highlight of the night. Man, do you agree?
This was the highlight of the weekend.
Oh yeah.
It just shows 3-point shooting is so important for the NBA right now, and how exciting it is to watch when the most exciting thing you have is 10 dudes shooting while sitting around the court. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, totally, man. It was actually fun to watch. It was refreshing. It was we had a lot of contestants, and the whole thing where they added a whole rack of money balls, just it adds to the excitement of the whole thing. 3-point shooting is fun to watch, despite what some old heads might say. I think it's fun to watch. In the end,
this is fun to watch.
Yeah, and in the finals, we had Buddy Hield versus the favorite Steph Curry versus Average Joe Harris. And
Average Joe. Who? Sorry, who's Joe Harris? I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah, Average Joe. He's over in Brooklyn, playing for the Nets. Low key white dude, just out here knocking down trays, and he ended up taking out Steph Curry in the finals and winning the 3-point shootout in Steph Curry's hometown of Charlotte. I think this was
must have stung in Charlotte.
Jordan.
Losing in front of the whole crowd.
Oh man, I see what you did there. Is this the biggest upset in Charlotte Hornets history, Jordan?
Charlotte Hornets don't have a big enough history to talk about upsets yet. No. This is.
But
this, like you said, is exciting. This is exciting because you had no idea who was going to win this. It's basically who comes in with the hottest hand.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that first round, there were a lot of guys that scored over 20 points. and they didn't get into the finals. And I think that's a testament to three-point shooting these days.
Yeah. Is there anything that we can possibly do to improve the event, in your opinion?
Honestly, more dudes. Honestly, just get more guys in there and go maybe to a tournament, bracket style, where two guys are shooting on opposite ends of the court. That's what I did in high school when I played in the three-point shootout. And I mean, that just brings a little bit more edge, because if two guys are going back and forth, it, builds a little bit more of the competition level. Maybe they don't even play against each other, but it just allows for more people to get into the competition.
I would like that. I would agree. I would like them to play against each other, like, live, because then, it would add the extra surprise element where they're looking and they're watching down to the other end of the court, like, oh shoot, what's he at? What score has he got? What do I got to do, right? So people aren't just chasing a specific number. They'd actually just be out here like, oh shoot, I got to hit every single shot because I don't even know what this other dude's at right now. So I think that would be pretty exciting.
Exactly. No, and that's what I think it should do. I honestly think that's what we should do is, like these guys are going to look at the other court though, Raj. Come on, they're all in their own heads, so they're just out here shooting, right? So
yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I'm a little disappointed in Steph. I think I loved all the memes that came out of it. It's like Steph and Seth. They talking about, who's going to win this year, Steph or Seth? The Curry brothers in Charlotte, in the hometown where they grew up. Who's going to win? And meanwhile, Joe Harris just sits there and goes, pathetic immortals fighting over the crown that belongs to me.
Oh, totally, man.
Like, Joe Harris, when you look him up, he's shooting 40% from the field. For 3-point, that's huge for a guy like that.
Oh, totally, man. I thought one of the funniest parts of the night were when Steph Curry was started off super hot in that 3-point shootout, and they panned to Joe Harris's face, just getting more and more depressed as each shot went in. I thought that was the highlight of the event for me personally.
That camera pan, that's money. That's gold money right there. Is watching that guy in the lead, watching his lead slowly evaporate.
Yeah, right.
This guy gets hot.
Oh man,
and Curry, and I mean Steph Curry. Everyone got real excited. What he hit, 15 in a row, 12 in a row. He was on pace for the record set by Craig Hodges, is 19 3-pointers made in a row in the All-Star game.
Oh yeah, I think he'd almost hit 3 racks in a row there for a while there.
Yes.
And then
that's what you show up for, right? That's trying to break that record. Impossible, but I mean, I think Steph was going for it. So nothing else much to say. Props to Joe Harris for winning that. Hit 26 points and 25 points in both rounds. Stayed consistent. Other guys couldn't keep the flamethrower hot. Couldn't keep the heat on in the kitchen. So the future's good in Brooklyn. I
did have one point where I want to start. So I got some grade A beef here, Jordan.
We got some beef to cook. We got some beef to cook on the 3-point shootout.
Yeah, we got some beef. It's not really with the 3-point shootout. It's more with the lady that they chose to be the announcer for the event. I don't know, man. Some of those interview questions that she was pulling after people won the event, it was questionable. It was questionable, Jordan. Questionable at best. After Joe Harris, after Joe Harris won the 3-point shootout, the lady, as she was interviewing him, she literally said, "You just beat the best 3-point shooter of all time. Let me see that smile," and then moves the mic towards his face.
What?
Like, Jordan, what was she doing? Who picks these people? Can we get a gig working for the NBA All-Star Weekend next year?
Yeah, like you could do any better. You know what? Shout out to Adam Silver. If you want me to do interviewing for the All-Star game, I'll do it. I'll try not to be as awkward as Reggie Miller. I mean, can we just talk about her outfit first? Like, as much as I love, like, Vanilla Red Peppermint, like, it was just, like, a lot going on, and then it was, like, the awkward, cringy interview stuff.
Yeah, it was so cringy.
I don't know. I didn't really, like, hate her.
Man.
Didn't really,
I don't know, man. She was getting on my nerves big time. She was you just beat the best 3-point shooter of all time. Let me see that smile. And then, like, moves the mic to his face. Like, I'm sorry, what? Is that how you see with the mic? Is that, man, Jordan, we got to get somebody new next year, man. That's all I'm saying. That's my grade A beef for the week.
Everybody's a critic until they're out on that court with the mic in hand trying to keep things live.
Give me a shot. I'll shoot my shot. Whatever. All right, Jordan. Well, this will bring us to the last event of the Saturday night, which was the slam dunk contest. I'm not even gonna say anything, Jordan. I want you to tell me what you think of the dunk contest.
You got a sad trombone.
Can I play like the Undertaker theme music? Can we put this thing to sleep here?
Can I just get more sad music, please? I need sad music.
So is the dunk contest officially dead, Jordan?
Yes, I recently posted about this on my Instagram handle. The slam dunk contest has now officially passed away as of 2019. It passed away in an echoing coliseum where no one was clapping in Charlotte, North Carolina. Raj, I've got to go to is the judges. And I've talked about this a lot, but it's like, who did you pick to judge the All-Star game? Did you pick Vince Carter? Dr. J, pretty stalwart, guy in the dunk contest. Tracy McGrady, he might have been a fun guy to put on. No, we picked Alonzo Mourning, we picked some other Charlotte legends, and then some pretty talented WNBA players. One of them, obviously, I believe it's Candace Parker, was it? Was it Candace?
Yeah.
The first woman to ever dunk in a college game. So, I feel like she's got some street cred. The rest of them, I felt like had nothing to do there. Like, they walked in and kind of said, "Oh, what am I doing today? Oh, you want to judge the All-Star dunk contest? Oh, yeah, sure, why not?" Like, and I think that's what really bugged me, is because I was scrutinizing their scores so much throughout the entire event.
Yeah, totally.
Did you feel like their scoring was even remotely close to what you think those dunks should have gone?
No, it was so inconsistent. Like you're saying, one of the judges on the panel can't even dunk. How is she judging a dunk contest? It makes no sense, man. I get you want diversity, and I'm a full supporter of that. We definitely want diversity in the workplace and equal rights for everybody. But for a dunk contest, man, you can have so many people out here as judges. People that have played and have dunked and know what it takes to pull off some of these dunks. And this just wasn't it. This just wasn't it, man. And
this is what really got me this year, is what the All-Star Weekend truly lacked was an identity and a personality. Mm-hmm. Like, there was not a character in sight. There was not anyone who was, wilding out. There was, J. Cole was the flashiest looking guy in a tie-dye tiger striped sweater on the sidelines. You know what I mean? Like, mm-hmm. There was really not a lot going on in terms of what the NBA is known for these days, in terms of its fashion, its brand, its culture with music, its collaboration with other people in communities, and to expand to the large worldwide knowledge it is today. I really didn't see a lot of that flair and up-tempo style that we're used to for that dunk contest, and I think it truly suffered.
Yeah, and I think part of that has to do with the lack of star power. I watched the event I watched the event with my family every year, and I got friends over and stuff, and I asked my dad who he thinks is going to win, and he's like, "I don't know any of these people. Like, are they even NBA players?" You have star-studded field for every event except for the dunk contest. I think if you had stars out there doing worse dunks, you would literally have a better dunk contest. It would be a better draw.
Absolutely. No, you know what? You just need the good dunk. Like, you always go back to the pinnacle of I guess the turn of the 2010s, the turn of the decade, the Zach LaVine Aaron Gordon battle. Maybe even earlier to when Terrence Ross was in there when he was still with the Raptors. Like, those guys can dunk. And were they great players at that time? No. Definitely starters on their respective teams, but Hamid Diallo, like John Collins, like Dennis Smith Jr. Like guys, like come on, like none of these guys are even playing meaningful minutes.
Yeah, and when these guys don't hit the dunks on that first attempt or even the second attempt, it just takes away so much, you know? It ruins the whole thing, which I found was definitely the case here, Jordan.
All right, well, I got a couple things for you here. So, what do you think was the best dunk of the night?
The one where Diallo jumped over Shaq and pulled up that the dunk where is the hand in the cookie jar. He put his elbow in the rim after the dunk, jumped over Shaq clean. I thought that was definitely the best dunk of the night, and Diallo ended up winning. Right, he was the best dunk of the night, won the dunk contest. Well, how about you, Jordan? What do you think?
Yeah, 100% agreed. I think that Hamidou Diallo in the first round, which is really sad, the first round had the best dunk, and it was just in the elbow over Shaq. Mind you, it's a completely huge talent to jump over Shaq without pole vaulting, and they were scrutinizing that really closely, and the fact that he didn't pole vault over Shaq to get that height was pretty impressive. Miles Bridges and Dennis Smith Jr., they both had potentials for 50 dunks. They were good-looking dunks. The only problem was they missed them. And like you said, they had to repeat them 3 or 4 times. And that really took all of the energy out of the building. You could literally see it walk out of the building when they blew it. I mean, John Collins, yeah, that was super great. It looks like he was the only guy who paid attention in college when he was playing basketball and learned something about Carolina being the home to the Wright brothers. But you know what? Whatever. Best man won, Hamidou Diallo. Just not the dunk contest we've hoped for and always so overhyped. Is the dunk contest not always overhyped every year? That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I feel like it hasn't been great since that Aaron Gordon versus Zach LaVine duel with the jumping over mascots and jumping from the free throw line. Hasn't been good since. So let's hope some stars step up next season and help revive this dunk contest, man. So, Jordan, with that, I want to jump to the last topic of the day, which is the actual NBA All-Star Game, which was Team Giannis versus Team LeBron. And, you know, this game looked tight. It was a fun game. Team Giannis led for the majority of the game. And then third quarter to end the third, Team LeBron took over and never let go of the lead after that. And it ended up being a Team LeBron victory. Jordan, what are your thoughts on this game, man? I thought it was a really fun game, actually. What do you think?
I mean, from an all-star perspective, I think it was pretty entertaining for the first half. Second half, when they actually had to start playing defense, I can't believe I'm saying this, it actually got worse. And I think it got worse because Stephen Curry shot 17 three-pointers and missed 13 of them.
Oh.
And basically shot Giannis' team out of the game in the fourth quarter and let my boy Dollar Dame, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant just take over for Team LeBron. So I'm really disappointed in that sense because I think Stephen Curry this whole weekend was talking about how it's his city, how he's going to be here, do his thing, try and win all these awards, and he really he tried. I want to give him credit, he tried, but he did not show up, and the results weren't there, and thus I blame Giannis' loss on Steph Curry this year. I absolutely do.
Yeah, 100%, man. He was just firing and missing everything, and I think they tried to get him going a lot. And I honestly thought they should have subbed him out and brought in Russell Westbrook to close the game.
Agreed.
Right? Just because Steph wasn't really doing a whole lot for them, unfortunately, which is very, very uncharacteristic of him. So, Kevin Durant is going to let him hear it. KD took over that fourth quarter, knocking down every shot that he laid his eyes on, man. That was quite a performance by KD. What do you think of his showing out there?
I'm gonna just say this: it was quiet for KD. It didn't feel like KD was the MVP.
Really?
It really didn't. Honestly, I thought that LeBron was much more of a all-around player for Team LeBron. Yeah, KD had the most points. KD played center. He had some huge defensive stops on Joel Embiid in the center position. But I really didn't think that KD, like I said, a whole weekend. Is KD not underwhelming? Was it not underwhelming the entire All-Star game?
Well, I don't know. I thought he did great. Like, I thought the fourth quarter, he was hitting threes, getting mid-range shots, getting anything he wanted, and I think he was instrumental in them coming back and winning the game. Dame definitely took over as well, and Kawhi had a spurt there for the Raptor fans there, where he was knocking down trays and getting buckets. I don't know. I thought it was well deserved, Jordan. I thought LeBron kind of took a bit of a back seat at the end of the game there and let Kevin Durant just take over. So I think it was deserved. Another point we want to bring up about this game, we were kind of hinting at this earlier, but Anthony Davis ended up playing 5 minutes in this game as well after he missed his team's last game or walked out of the team. Jordan, do you think that was right for Anthony Davis to play in this game?
No.
No,
absolutely not.
But 5 minutes, Jordan. 5 minutes.
Nah. Why you gotta do Luka Doncic dirty like that? Why are you gonna not play for a game that matters and play for a game that doesn't matter? That's that you know what? I was on Team Anthony Davis the whole time, the whole debacle of this thing, and now that this has come up, I'm starting to switch ways here. And go, all right, that's a tough look. That's disrespectful.
Yeah, it's interesting too because you can bring this up with a couple players because Kawhi Leonard has missed 16, 19 games, something like that this season already, and then he's out here playing in the All-Star game as well, and Kyle Lowry with back issues, and he's doing the same thing. Like, I don't know.
Don't you remember last year? Kyle Lowry hurt his hand in the All-Star game, and then had a bunch of problems for like a month after, and we started to slide down the standings from our super hot start in December and January. It's a trend thing going on, man. People like playing in the All-Star game better than they do in regular season sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something that's, I don't know, what do you do about it, right? That's a game you need your best guys in. It's a challenge for you to say, okay, well, you have to play the game before, or else you can't play here. I don't think that will be possible. And it's just really a shame that you walk out of the building after you hurt your shoulder, but then you're good to play in the weekend after for the break. So that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a touchy subject. I'm not a fan of these players playing when they should be resting, but on the same token, if I was selected to an All-Star game, I know I would definitely want to play, even if it was for 5 minutes, just because that's who I am as a person, I'm stubborn like that. I wouldn't want to miss out on that great opportunity because you don't know when it's going to come again, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
You don't know you're going to be an All-Star when you play on LeBron's team with the Lakers. It's not a fact.
Yeah.
Not confirmed.
He might be upset and trade your ass halfway through the season,
That's right.
All right.
So what's your give me your highlights. The highlights that you want to talk about in the All-Star game. What was the craziest things you saw happen? Play by play.
Oh man, I think at the moment that was captured all around the world was that alley-oop from Steph Curry, that on the bounce pass where he threw that ball up top of the backboard, and Giannis just went up there and got it and threw it down hard. That was the highlight of that All-Star game for me, Jordan.
That was a nice bounce pass. You know what? I'm not even going to say that. That was an okay bounce pass. That was an incredible finish by Giannis. You're right. That's play of that was better than the dunk contest. that was literally better than every dunk in the dunk contest.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, man. That was definitely the highlight of that game. And my takeaway is that they need to do something about that dunk contest to bring it back, because I miss the days where that was the highlight of the Saturday night, man. I miss the days. Can I give you?
Okay, what about the Paul George 360? That one was better than the dunk contest too.
That was nasty. I was like, yeah, that would have been a 50 in the dunk contest. Like, get PG in there,
That's
man.
Right.
Can I give you a low light? Can I give you a low light, Jordan?
Yeah, give me the lowlights.
When they brought out all the old timers for the 3-point shootout, and they were all just breaking 3 after 3. I think the 5 or the 4 legends they brought in to shoot the 5 racks combined for 8 points total. Somebody come get your grandpa. You know, that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing, Jordan. That was my low light.
You know, you see they're like, we're just gonna round. They're like $1,000 for every 3-point shot, and then they're like, we're just gonna round this up to $35,000 for you. Like, thanks for playing. Like, yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, they're like, oh well, we expected y'all to hit at least double this, so let's do that.
literally double. Any thoughts for Russell Westbrook and Joel Embiid not playing on the same line after Team Giannis traded for him and wanted to squash the so-called beef they had between them?
Yeah, I was hoping they'd have a moment, but we didn't really see too many of those. It was cool to see Dirk splashing threes.
Money.
Yeah, he's always been money, so that was cool to see. Kyle Lowry's pretty quiet. Kawhi Leonard did his thing, hit some threes. Was proud of that. Nick Vucevic. I noticed the bigs weren't really getting very involved there. He had one sweeping layup. I know my boy Rack was pretty happy about that. Finally seeing Orlando Magic back in the playoff or in the All-Star game, and maybe in the playoffs. Man, we got a long season ahead of us still. With Orlando sitting 0.5 games out of that playoff spot, the bottom of the East is wide open. But Jordan, we'll talk about that on next week's episode. We got to wrap this thing up here.
Hey man, remember, if I think there's too many threes in the All-Star game, then there's too many threes in the All-Star game.
Jordan says.
Simple as that.
That's what Jordan says.
This has been another fabulous episode, All-Star Weekend special of the Give and Go podcast with your hosts, Rajan Sharma and Jordan Taylor. Remember, kids, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and SoundCloud at Give the letter N Go Podcast. We also got a YouTube channel now, and you can check us out on iTunes, YouTube, or the Google Play Store, wherever you find your podcasts, at Give letter N Go Podcast as well. Remember, kids, we've given you the information. Now go do something with it. Give and go.
And we out.